The king dug up and thrown in a marsh, the mutilation of Harold Harefoot's corpse. What happens when even death can't protect a king? In one of the most gruesome and humiliating moments in royal history, a dead king's body was dragged from its grave, stripped of honor, and thrown into a marsh like rotting garbage. This is the forgotten story of King Harold Harefoot, the 11th century ruler whose legacy ended not with a royal funeral, but with corpse mutilation and public disgrace. Stay with us, because history just got dark. Scene 1. Who was Harold Harefoot? Let's start with the basics. Harold Harefoot, named for his speed and agility, was the son of King Canute the Great, the powerful ruler of England, Denmark, and Norway. But Harold's rise to the throne wasn't straightforward. When Canute died in 1035, a succession crisis erupted. Two contenders emerged: Harold Harefoot, Harthacnut, his half-brother still in Denmark. With Harthacnut delayed overseas, Harold seized the opportunity and claimed the English throne. But his reign, lasting from 1035 to 1040, was short, bitter, and filled with controversy. Many nobles viewed Harold as a usurper, ruling by default, not by divine right, and tensions were about to reach a boiling point. Scene 2. The bad blood between brothers. Harold's claim wasn't accepted by everyone. The powerful Godwin family supported him, but many southern English nobles remained loyal to Harthacnut. And Harthacnut wasn't known for forgiveness. While Harold ruled in England, Harthacnut remained in Denmark, building alliances and quietly preparing for his eventual return. Rumors grew. Whispers said that when Harthacnut landed, revenge would follow. But Harold's sudden death in 1040, at just 24 years old, changed everything. One might think death would settle the feud, but for Harthacnut, Harold's death was just the beginning of a very public reckoning. Scene 3. The funeral, or lack thereof. Harold Harefoot was buried at Westminster Abbey, a place of royal honor. But even as the dirt settled on his grave, Harthacnut was making plans. By mid-1040, Harthacnut finally arrived in England, and his anger toward Harold was still burning. One of his first official acts as king: revenge. Not through politics, not through speeches, but through corpse desecration. He wanted to send a clear message. This is what happens to usurpers. Scene 4. Digging up the dead. On Harthacnut's orders, soldiers were sent to open Harold's grave. In full public view, Harold's decomposing body was dragged from the earth. What followed was one of the most humiliating acts in English royal history. His burial garments were stripped away. His remains were paraded through the streets like a criminal display. And finally, Harold's body was hand-dumped into a marsh near the River Thames. It wasn't just punishment, it was a theatrical humiliation. Harthacnut made sure the people of England saw it, felt it, and remembered it. The symbolism was brutal and clear. No one, not even a king, could escape Harthacnut's wrath. Scene 5. A king's legacy in the mud. For years, Harold Harefoot's name was dragged through the mud, both figuratively and literally. Chroniclers painted him as a weak, illegitimate ruler. His enemies called him a usurper, an opportunist. But some historians argue Harold wasn't nearly as bad as later records suggest. His reputation may have been rewritten by those loyal to Harthacnut. Eventually, a group of monks, horrified by the desecration, secretly retrieved Harold's bones. They quietly reburied him in the churchyard of St. Clement Danes in London. But his posthumous disgrace remained. To this day, His story stands as one of the darkest moments of our royal post-mortem vengeance in English history. The story of Harold Harefoot is a grim reminder that, in medieval politics, death wasn't always the end. Even in the grave, your enemies could still find you. If you found this story shocking, just wait until you hear about the king who was dug up, put on trial, and executed, all after he was already dead. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more untold, dark, and forgotten moments from history.